part of what leads to systemic oppression and mass violence and catastrophic harm, to me, come from our individually and collectively being disengaged from our truth. And so my hope is that I am creating and co-creating art that invites people to feel permission to get closer to their truth. Storytelling, to me, is a pathway out. Because if abolition is a framework that invites us to create stories we don't even yet know exist, then that framework can lead us out of this cycle of violence and safety. So I'm a writer and a performer, so feel free to translate this to being a visual artist or whatever media you might be working in. But I would say start with the seed of the idea. Once you've got it, sit with it, take a look at it, and then check in with yourself. Do you want to share this? And if you want to share this, do you want to run it by someone else first? So it's like, who wants to be a millionaire? Phone a friend, ask the audience. Like, do you have some folks that you trust? And this goes to checking in with your gut. If your gut tells you, I'm not sure, or I got to run it by someone, check in with them. And if you have specific questions you want them to address, say, I would like feedback around XYZ, or will you give me a gut check if you think this will resonate if I share it XYZ. So then think about, once you've gotten that feedback, where do you want to share it? Do you want to share it on social media? Is there an event that someone else is doing that you've been invited to share it at? Are you going to join a protest or a rally? Think through, where do you want it to be, and who do you want to witness and receive the art? And what is the most practical way and effective way for it to get to that audience? So think about this, the idea, how it's coming out of you, what kind of feedback you want, and what the audience is, and then how you're there for transmitting it to that audience. I use the question modality all the time when I'm trying to create work that I want to be an invitation, and I don't want to shut people down. And I know that the content could shut a lot of people down. My party trick is make everything a question. Because if everything's a question, it's still an opportunity to engage with less likelihood someone's going to shut down. So once you know the idea, then think through, what form does it want to live in? And if you get stuck, then think, okay, is something stuck inside me emotionally that I need to work through? Or is this not the right form? And then trial and error, try again. Be flexible. Be willing to be in conversation with your art, and be willing to practice the organizing tools and the pedagogy you have around collective liberation. Be willing to practice that with your art itself. If you believe in abolition, bring an abolition mindset to how you're creating your art. If you believe in anti-oppression, bring an anti-oppression lens to your art. Practice what you preach with your art itself. Like, let it too be an opportunity for linguistic liberation. If it's feeling constricted from periods and commas, release it of the grammar. Or if the grammar is going to help it feel rooted, like, keep those periods in there. So that's the other thing, is build a relationship with the work. Because if it's built from a place of love, if the art itself is built with that kind of care, then it will be received with that kind of care. And if it needs to be angry, let it be angry, because that too is a kind of care, a deep care, because anger also needs to move. Because if silencing your own anger is going to cause you harm, then that's not an abolition mindset. So practice with care a kind of flexibility and malleability that will allow you and your art to keep each other safe. My advice to artists who are looking to come into movement spaces to help counter narratives of violence is to speak truth to power, and to invite yourself to the deepest spaces you feel safe within yourself to go. The most important audience member is yourself. May you bear witness to yourself, and then anyone else you choose to share with thereafter is a bonus prize. Whether it ends up being witnessed by 1 million people on TikTok or 3 people, over dinner one night, first and foremost, get yourself safe. And if you want to share it with the rest of us, what a sacred, holy gift.